सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। कटाक्षकिरणाचान्त नमन्मोहाब्धये नमः। अनन्तानन्दकृष्णाय जगन्मङ्गलमूर्तये। Page 36, श्लोक नंबर 8। न देहो नेन्द्रियं चाहं न प्राणो न मनो न धीः ममतापरिरब्धत्वात् आक्रीडत्वादिदं धियः। So that which I have been constantly highlighting through the last 3 shlokas is though the logic is so powerful, though the logic is so straight, there is no overextension of the logic. The preciseness of what the logic is pointing at is so clear, and yet our experience has been quite limited. That what I am listening to, which is so convincing, and yet my experience is of a completely different direction. Not just a different direction, probably completely a different realm of experience. So Vedanta seems to be quite a distant approach, and this is not a modern issue, but it has been an issue all along. After listening to Vedanta, we end up saying, how do I apply this in my life? Right? How do I apply this Vedanta in my life? I think that question itself is a problem. Bear with me, because if it is not applicable, why should I listen to Vedanta? The basic question will occur. Bear with me. What is Vedanta trying to say? Vedanta is trying to say that that which we are learning through the Shravana is trying to point out the bare facts, very logically approachable. It is saying that which we call as my Jagrata Avastha, that Jagrata Avastha is a projected reality. We are not talking about the standpoint of tattva vichara from the standpoint of tvampada. We are talking about tatpada and the aikyam, the oneness of it. But the tvampada vichara has not happened efficiently yet. And that is where we are stuck. Where are we stuck? Tvampada has two meanings. One vachyartha and the other is lakshyartha. See, even in the other classes or other yajnas that I go to, I don't end up using even this vocabulary. I try to steer clear of this vocabulary very consciously, just so that those who are listening to the very idea of Vedanta is approachable. So when we say that there is Tvampada has two realms of realities. One is the realm of the Vachyartha and the other is the realm of Lakshyartha. When we ask the question, hey, how do I apply this in my life? I am asking it from the Tvampada Vachyartha, and the whole point of discussion is lost. The Jiva's issue is understandable. One has to be compassionate to it. Jiva's realm of experience has several issues. There are several things that are happening at the worldly level, at the vyavahara level, at the body level, mind level, intellectual level, at a national level, at a political level, at an economic level, at a geopolitical level. There are so many things happening. And all of that is in the realm of Tvampada Vachyartha. Vachyartha means literal meaning. Lakshyartha means that which is indicated meaning. So the point of discussion is, at least if we do not put the effort to understand the Vachyartha and its implication and its aikya of Tvampada and Tatpada, at least there is an intellectual clarity of it. How would we steer ourselves through the Vachyartha of the Tvampada to come to the point of Tvampada Lakshyartha, then understand the Brahma Tattva? Because Brahma Tattva is the Lakshyartha, both for Tatpada as well as Tvampada. How would we even come to the standpoint of Aikya? So the way I had explained it earlier was, the effort that I had put was, there are frameworks of functioning. When a doctor goes into an operation room, the framework of functioning is completely different. Totally different. It has to be a pristine condition. All around within the hospital, there is nothing but Vyadigrastha. All of them have different kinds of diseases. We cannot say that I thought this was a doctor's place Why are there so many patients? If not in the doctor's place, where else? Right? When people come and say, even in the spiritual organizations, there is such a commotion of, various layers of politics and this and that. And what, people are coming from heaven or what? Angels or what? No. You show me two people, I'll show you three parties. My party, your party, and our party. Even within a family structure, there are lobbies. Lobby of what? If there are two kids, which kid supports which parent? It's all one family, right? But then within that one family, they said, this is my side of the team, that is that side of the team. When there are some discussions, arguments, or whatever happens, or even worse, when there are good things that happen, the claim is, ये तो मेरे पर गया है. And there are bad things that happen, तुम्हारे ऊपर गया है. This is the tendency that we are living in. In order to weave ourselves through this chaos called the Tvampada, Vachyartha and its realm of reality, so that I have enough time, room, opportunity, so that I can look at the Lakshyartha of Tvampada, Tatpada and the Aikya, that entire concept, that entire realm has to be understood as well. Enough opportunity has to be given to it. Otherwise, we are stuck in that realm. Being in that realm, I am now trying to see how can I apply this in my life. And what is Vedanta trying to say? Vedanta is trying to say that that realm is a projected reality. Especially in this, wherein the standpoint has changed. Therefore, the framework has changed. Therefore, when the doctor goes into the realm of operation theatre, he cannot just walk in after playing a game of tennis or shuttlecock, sweaty all over, go into the operation room. He has to first take a shower and then scrub and then wear sterile clothes. And even that sterile clothes have to be worn in such a way that it is all tucked in into the glove. And then there has to be a head net, hair net. There has to be a mask. And we have gone through. I used to wonder, to wear that mask 24/7 when we were during the COVID, people are feeling suffocated. Just to do ordinary things in life. Now these people, they have to go into that operation room wearing that mask. Sometimes it is like 6, 7, 8 hours operations. On their 2 feet they have to stand and continuously work on it. All the instruments that are there, they have to be pristine, they have to be sterile. All those others who are working, they have to be pristine, they have to be sterile. The body that is coming in, the patient's body that is coming in, that has to be wiped out clean. Even the hair follicles should not be seen. Am I right? That is the kind of environment, that is the framework. Now the precision tools that are being used, the fellow who is now focusing here cannot even divert his attention to look which instrument is where. There has to be another person waiting upon him to know what exactly are the steps, and the sequence of all the instruments are kept in such a place that they take it and use it and give it in the right appropriate time. For the layman, it is just a scalpel. But within the scalpel, there are different ranges. That is the framework that you have to get into with that mindset to work on that environment. So the framework that is required is of the Lakshartha, and we are trying to function in that framework with the Vachyartha. Completely caught up in it. Therefore, Vedanta, the qualifiers are given so clearly. Baba, this is not for your Vyavaharika application. There are certain aspects of Vedanta Vichara where it is for your Vyavaharika application. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Upasana, all of this can be applied. Including dhyana, which is also in the Vyavahara world, to remove those erroneous habits which we have formed during our various lives, to remove that from the different standpoint of framework. Therefore, dhyana also is working in that learning. Without a conscious, sincere effort of changing the framework while listening to Vedanta, we come with the other framework. And then we feel, what is this Vedanta? Where is it being applied? How can it be practical? This is such impractical. It is so uncompassionate. It doesn't deal with my problems, my issues, my realm. Why is that so strong? Why is that so that we are caught up in it? Because the Purva Vichara has not been done thoroughly. Without that clear Tvampada Vichara, directly coming to the, many people suggested as soon as I came, what should be the things that I should focus here? And I was open, I was asking everyone. 80-85% straight up said, Swamiji, meditation. करोगे क्या यार, आके सो जाओगे. Where are we embedded? Where are we enmeshed? Maybe this 1 hour we give time to say that there is an opportunity for the Tvampada, Tatpada and the Aikya. As soon as we step out, this class is done. And it is 5 minutes late. But now I have enough time for what? Breakfast. सवेरे चाय भी नहीं पिया था, जाके पहले चाय पिएंगे, कॉफी पिएंगे, then breakfast. Even as I am stepping out, I am giving a lot of leeway here, because sometimes even during the class it is the planning for what should be done the rest of the day is going happening inside. Then where am I here for the availability of understanding this? So when the vichara is done, that where am I caught up? Because this leads to a lot of frustration, and say, I have tried Vedanta, it is useless, therefore I give up. As I started speaking on this, not even 8 shlokas, people are reaching out saying, Swamiji, this is so tough logic to understand. This is so difficult process, this text. But the text is not difficult. The logic is so simple and applicable in a step-by-step process. Very mathematically is going. So he himself evaluates, why are we failing to understand this? So he says, na deha na indriyam na cāhaṃ prāṇah manaha dhīḥ. We have read this concept in several different texts. One of our favorite, mano buddhyahankara citta ninaḥam na ca shrotra jihve na ca ghrāna netre. And we create the ambience, we turn the lights off, we swing to that beautiful melody. Enough of it. What is it pointing at? Every day in many houses we hear, there is to be that cassette. One side was Bhaja Govindam, the other side was Vishnu Sahasranamam. So first thing they'll put is Vishnu Sahasranamam, and then the tape has to be shifted. Then came a little more sophistication, wherein the tape need not be shifted. It will automatically play in the reverse, meaning the other side of the thing, where it will automatically play the other side. The reader, magnetic reader, was on both sides. So it starts chanting Bhaja Govindam. Everybody, it is popularized. Even when you go to Chardham Yatra, the Badrinath, first thing early in the morning, Vishnu Sahasranam followed by Bhaja Govindam. What is the first shloka? Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja, Mudha Mate. अरे कितने राग युक्त से गाते हैं, प्यार से गाते हैं. अरे who is he addressing? What is he addressing? These are the concepts which we have already heard. I am not deha, I am not indriya, I am not prāṇa, I am not mano, I am not dhīḥ, I am other than the waking dream and the deep sleep. I am not the five koshas of annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya. I am not sthula sharira, I am not sukshma sharira, I am not karana sharira. Tattva bodha memorized. What is the purpose of it? The purpose is to shift the framework. But then how are we trying to even understand the other framework? By being the earlier framework. Isn't that what the Britishers, the Muslims, the Portuguese, the French, the Dutch, when they came into India, they came with their framework of administration, governance, understanding religion, ethos, practices, all of this. And so these are very uncouth, uncivilized. They are stuck in their ancient ways. So we have the responsibility. We now call it the white man's burden to modernize and civilize the brown people. Where in the British Parliament, Churchill goes on to say, these barbaric buffoons or barbaric baboons who do their buffoonery of practices. There we trying to understand, because in Vyavahara, that they came with their framework and now they want to fix everything according to their framework. Whether it is the Aryan invasion theory, whether it is the Sanskritam as a language, whether it is Vedic practices, whether it is our Nitya Karma, all of these are seemed so absurd. So they have to know. Therefore, the word modernization. You see 80% schools, they will have modern. What you have been learning, what you have been going through, what you have been equipped with so far was ancient. Your ancient is useless. Therefore, modern. Modern high school. Modernization. The framework was different, this framework was different, but it was completely misleading to try understand this from that, their framework. Their book said that all of this started 4,000 years ago. We are talking about tens of thousands of years ago, and there is an impeccable history. To such a point that we start doubting our own history, wherein they say, Swamiji, is Krishna and Rama real? Or are they made up stories? There is Mathura, there is Govardhan, there is Vrindavan, there is Barsana, there is Ayodhya. All of these are there. And yet we doubt. For their own standpoints, for their own books, there may not be enough proofs. But then we, in our own idiosyncrasy, we start saying the mythological books. Do we even understand the meaning of what that stupid word means? Mythology meaning this is fictitious, this is made up, this is not real. And we efficiently keep using those. Stupefied in that modernization. The point here of discussion is not that, I am just taking that as an example. We don't shift that framework. Similarly is this issue. What is the issue? The issue is that I am living, functioning and expressing as this body, mind and intellect. So sensitive that we have become that anything that can be said or not said hurts us, disturbs us. And then we say they are not sensitive. Your sensitivity is wrongly placed. The very word, very fact of sensitive itself is wrong. See, there is a particular toothpaste that is sold for gums or teeth that hurt. It is called? What is their tagline to it? For what kind of teeth? For sensitive teeth. Sensitivity means it is not normal. It is an aberration. And we make that as such a popular belief to run around saying, we have to be sensitive. Sensitivity is a disease. Being sensible is not a disease. Old cannot be called old. Bald cannot be called bald. Okay, if you say that somebody being old and calling them old is not, call a young fellow young man. A young fellow, come here. He will also revolt. I am not young. I am old. Yeah. Chalo, start calling old. I am not old. Don't call me auntie or uncle. Call me दीदी और भैया. अरे बुड्ढे हो गए हो यार, आगे बढ़ो. Where is this sensitivity coming? The sensitivity is because I am attached to my grossness. And that sensitive mindset he is calling idam dhiyaḥ. The last two words of this shloka. My buddhi is constantly in the upasana of this, that which I am attached to pound it again and again and again with various experiences as the only fact, reality and truth. If 1 hour of this satsanga that is happening is like unwinding this clock, 23 hours, what do? Wind it up back with revenge. Because everything that we do from subtlest to the grossest is to ascertain that I am still this body, mind and intellect. The focus, the framework has not shifted even a little bit. And then we find it burdensome. We find it complicated. Complication is not in Vedanta. Complication is in our understanding that the framework has to shift and we are not ready for it. We are in love with this body, mind and intellect, however flawed it is. So the concept is old. Why is he mentioning it here? He says this dehatma buddhi is so strongly embedded into our conscience that we are not ready to let go of it, even to think other than it. I know I am not the body, I have been hearing it. I said, I am hurting. What do you mean? Head is pounding. Whose head? My head. Don't apply this Vedanta to a person whose head is really pounding. Give them some medication at that time so that it is relieved. Then we take the Vedanta Vichara to the other extreme, wherein the body is neglected. Right? This is sadhana. Whatever it is required. You know you are not the vehicle that you are driving. But every 50,000 kilometers, you have to change the tires. Every 8 to 10,000 kilometers, you have to rotate your tires so that it is evenly wearing out. The engine, the oil, the greasing has to be constantly done. Once in a while. Once done, there was that advertisement when I was growing up, which used to say, it is the least maintenance. Fill it, shut it, forget it. Yeah? Hero Honda. But that filling, shutting, that is required. Though I know I am not the vehicle. The other extreme is also not right. Knowing very well that I am not this body, whatever for its maintenance that is required, that has to be provided. As a need, not as a want. And then the identification is so embedded in, and we function, that we become sensitive about every aspect of it. भाई मोटे को मोटा नहीं बोलेंगे तो क्या बोलेंगे? If somebody is fat and you recognize that, body shaming. What body shaming? Shamelessly you are that. Aren't we? A thin person will be called thin. Now you have to use politically correct words. Where are we getting embedded? Where are we getting messed up in? We have been so sensitized with all these aspects. Why? I live and breathe as a limitation. And now I want to try understanding Vedanta, specifically here the Tvampada Vichara of the Lakshartha, Tatpada Vichara of the Lakshartha, and the Aikya of that Laksha. Being what? Being this body, being this mind, being this intellect. We have not done enough Visleshana. We have not done enough Vichara on what this Tvampada is, why I am not that. Unprepared when they go into sophistication. And we are not even crossed LKG. Especially in India, we have seen the parental pressure. You have to study which the parents feel is good for you. The छोटे छोटे बच्चे 5th grade, 6th grade, special class. Why? IIT preparation. Hey Ram. So what are they now efficient at? To memorize, regurgitate and vomit. Then when they come out of the, they say, in the Yuva Kendra classes and that platform, they have come to MSc, Masters, or they have completed engineering, or they are in their third, fourth year, not fifth. They cannot put one sentence together. How did you reach this far, man? Simple. Don't understand the process, just memorize it, regurgitate it and vomit it. Done. We do the same thing with Vedanta. Meaning that unprepared one who is being introduced to the higher knowledge for which there has to be a certain amount of preparation for them to unfold, understand those concepts. Without the understanding of those concepts, what is being emphasized? Memorizing. We have also memorized. Satkim, Trikala Abadita Vastu. One after the other, definitions after definitions after definitions. We have memorized. We regurgitate. As what? As that body, mind and intellect. तोते की तरह रट के बैठे हैं. So what should be the focus? Understand this deha and its limitation, this mana, buddhi and its limitation. But even in that field of spirituality, what is evaluated is not what is your anubhava of how much of detachment that has happened, how much of vairagya that you have towards this body, mind and intellect and anything that which we call as idam, how much of non-idam dhi that we carry. But even in that, the evaluation is how much has they studied, how much of experience, how much of vocabulary, how much of... That is not the evaluation. I tell you, every time that bio of mine is read in every college, every place that I go, Earlier I used to feel suffocated several years ago. Now I feel like laughing. One word that has recently been added, management guru. Kab ho gaya bhai main? When did I become a management guru? Wrong attributes attributed and identified with, and then suffer because of it. As much as it is a prarabdha to go through as a body that is suffering, it is equally a prarabdha to give it medicine and move on. We love pampering it. And for saying we do give examples of Puja Gurudev, that he didn't care whether there was fan or AC or nothing. He was sweating, but he continuously worked. What does it indicate? Don't be the body. Don't react as a body. Don't react as a mind. Don't react as a intellect. That is when we personalize that more and more, deeper and deeper. Act we must because it is choiceless. React or not, that is in our hands. In Vyavahara, something happens, it doesn't go well, it was not properly done, or it was not properly scheduled, or the whole schedule was bunkered. This has to be properly understood and rightly done. But then we are reacting from the standpoint of that mind, from the standpoint of that buddhi, and say, I'm sorry. It is not the sorry that is required. The awarefulness that that mistake doesn't happen again, but we personalize it. Am I getting across? Impersonally go through. That is when we will learn that I am not this body, mind and intellect. Na deha, na nendriyaṃ, na cāhaṃ, prāṇah, mano, dhīḥ. Why is there that attachment? Mamatāparirabdhatvādākrīḍatvādidaṃ. Completely parirabdhatvād, enmeshed in my mamakara. Mamakara of what? I am this body. I am this mind. Every motion, every change, every attribute has to be protected. Everything. But have we reanalyzed? Have we evaluated what are the triggers that trigger us at the level of body? What are we sensitive about at the level of intellect? What are we being sensitive about at the level of the emotions? Because that is what keeps us attached, clinging on to this, embracing it, not letting it go. Gurudev uses an example. And when I saw it personally, previously when I was a brahmachari in Vijayawada, I had gone to a place called Kadari in Rayalaseema. So there was a yajna organized. So the place that they had given was a decent enough room, but there was no fan, one small light. So at night, I would take the bedding, go to the terrace and sleep there. At least there is some air movement. So one day I was suddenly woken up. It was middle of the night, 2, 3. There were group of monkeys that were shouting. There was a chaos on the nearby terrace. So I saw that there was one monkey and the other monkeys, and from my standpoint it looked like it was being bullied. But then paying close attention, I realized that monkey is stuck. How do they catch these monkeys? They have a jar. And the jar has a thin neck. Inside there are some nuts or something which is put, and the monkey barely puts its hand in. That is how thin it is. And then it grabs those nuts, now wants to pull it out. And that what I thought was that it was being bullied, it was the other monkeys now trying to pull that monkey out. That monkey whose hand is caught there is petrified. Now we all understand as to why it is petrified. It wants to pull the hand. There seems to be some unknown, unseen force that is holding it inside. And even more difficult to watch was the fellow who had set this up. He comes, chases away other monkeys, and then beats the monkey until it lets go. And by that time he has already tied it. It has now become enslaved. Very painful, right? You and I are no different. In the narrow jar called Tvampada Vachyartha, we are identified with this body, mind, intellect, and that which this body, mind and intellect likes in this world, we are caught up in it, parirabdhatvāt, enmeshed in it. If there is any reality, that is the only reality that which we know of. Without that, I even say that my very existence is questionable. I don't know what I will do without it. Yesterday there was somebody who brought their child to the Yuva Kendra class, and he says, I have been working in that particular IT field as a web designer. Now newer technologies, the younger kids have come and they do it so efficiently. I have lost my job. Without it, I don't know what I will do. Without the house, without the convenience, without this, without that, I don't know how I will. When everything is there, then sophistication of it, then I will start feeling, I don't know how I will live without it. And that which is not according to my taste, my like, I have deep jugupsa. Jugupsa is not hatred, it is disgust towards it. As much as the outside not clean, we should ask the doctors, how much unclean is inside? Gurudev, when he used to speak on Bhaja Govindam, have you all heard Gurudev's Bhaja Govindam talk? You should hear it. It's really it is only his lecture where he is so pertinent, it is like smacking again and again. What a beautiful nose. Lift it up, you will know the ugliness. That is why I learnt what is the meaning of beauty is skin deep. All the filth that which we are disgusted seeing outside, we are wrapped in it. And yet we consider, loving me. And then the new age psychology mixed philosophy. Most confusing topic. Self-love. Hare Rama. Self-love meaning what? What they have brought it down to? Love your body. Pamper your body. Love your emotions. Pamper them. Love your conviction. Pamper them. Convocation ceremony is the advice given to the younger minds. Do what you are passionate about. All that is fine. When they come to the reality, they will understand. It is less about talent, more about your consistency and discipline of application. The pampering there also. Everywhere this idea of self-pampering, it tampers with our very understanding of reality. Do we understand when Vedanta says that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect, you are not the vasanas? Logically, yes. Go outside, do what? Right from birth. Right from the practices, the child is being asked, who is daddy? The child shows. Who is mommy? The child shows. Who is Tinku? The abhyasa is being done. Whereas there was one brave mother, Madalasa. What did she teach her son? Son, you are nothing other than Chidananda Rupa. You are nothing other than Shiva Tattva. Not as a body. Then all the relationships, what do they keep re-insisting and reinforcing? Parirabdha. Parirabdha meaning that which is binding you from all directions efficiently. Embraced from all different directions. This body related to another body, therefore that relationship, and it is re-emphasizing that concept that you are this body, function as this body. My emotions have to be respected. My ideas have to be respected. Therefore, accept me. Forced, pressured, thrusted. Arey bhaiya, you are not even the body, mind and intellect. What are you trying to thrust that on me? See, when I go out into the world to interact, what am I trying to? First is to impress the other mind. That this is me. Now that I am thrusting on you. Now you accept it. Now when you accept it is when I feel that I am accepted. Thereby I conclude that I am being respected. You see the functionality where our equation is? That is reinforcing that idea again and again, that you are nothing other than the body, mind and intellect. Constantly that is being pumped in again and again and again. Unconsciously, what is the abhyasa that is happening? Though we chant mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham, aham manaha, aham buddhihi, aham chittaha, aham ahankaraha, aham dehaha. The deha tadatmya is pretty deeply rooted. And then there is another one, is the love for the self-love is one concept, all messed up. The other concept is, I am spiritual but not religious. Dhobi ka kutta na ghar ka na ghat ka. You are neither spiritual nor you are religious. I am not ritualistic. Don't give me that nonsense. What, don't you wake up and take a shower? Is that not a ritual? Don't you crave for that cup of coffee early in the morning? Is that not a ritual? You stand in front of that wardrobe and select what goes with what and what select, and then is that not a ritual? We are embedded in habits. To break away from those habits, there has to be a habit that has to be inculcated. Therefore, we call those rituals as not mere rituals, as samskaras. Samskara, that which removes vikara. I love that word samskara. Each one of them is efficiently placed to remove some scar. Therefore, it is called samskara. I love the spiritual aspect of it, not the religion aspect of it. We neither understand the word spirituality nor understand the word religion properly. Some convenient space we have created to say, I belong to that space, which leads no efficient movement in our growth. Stuck in that, which reinforces all my wrong convictions again and again, to be that buddhi, to be that antakarana. Another comfort zone created which we are not ready to let go. Parirabdha. And then we end up saying Gurudev was all about philosophy. Did he not sit while doing, when Pada Puja was being done, when Tula Bharat was being done, or when he was sitting down, did he not have a japamala and continuously do his japa? And those of us that have seen him, have you not seen a japamala in his hand continuously? Whenever he used to write a letter, what is the first thing that he would start with? Om Namo Narayanaya, 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 Hari Om, blessed self. What is that first 3 lines? Isn't it Bhagavad Nama Sankirtana? How many temples, one of the names of Puja Gurudev, Jirna Mandirodharakaya Namaha. The place where there are a lot of rituals that happen, he is the one that has revived that many temples all across the globe. There is a story that there was a meeting for reviving Badrinath temple. And in that meeting, everybody was like in agreement that it has to be revived, it has to be reconstructed, it has to be worked upon, because it's getting dilapidated. Gurudev had projects like the Adi Shankara Nilayam and other things that had to be done, very stiff on money. So he got up and he said 10 lakhs in those days. 10 lakhs from Chinmaya Mission. So all the other people that had gone with him from Chinmaya Mission said, Swamiji, apne ko nahi hai. For our own project we don't have money. And his belief was, this is from Narayana unto Narayana. Who are you and me? He will provide. Now one who has taken that keen interest to revive these temples, and we trying to follow, we say there is no scope for that. Where are we getting caught up? A very dangerous concept this is. I am spiritual but I am not religious. You will not be here nor there. See, the methods that have been employed by our rishis, that karma yoga is necessary, essential. Upasana is necessary, essential. A little bit of pranayama required, essential. Dhyana required, essential. The one who practices this regularly then does Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Without disidentifying from this body, mind and intellect, trying to learn more and more, finish scripture after scripture after scripture, we will not have that essence which it is pointing at. Yes, no doubt we would have eruditely finished one after the other the scripture. That is why one of the things that I said when I started this book, I am in no rush to quickly finish the book. That is not my standpoint. This is not like a yajna. I am in no hurry. The concept has to be understood in such a way that it becomes a part of our reflex system. That even by mistake, if I have to go work in the field of Vyavahara, I do not work from the standpoint of body, mind and intellect, but work from the standpoint of I being the Sakshi. That is when I am doing justice to all that which I am studying. Otherwise, there is enough ruckus in the world to get caught up in. Vyavahara is filled with that. But how does one efficiently make that wherein I stand far above from all its impacts, but effectively work through that also? The standpoint has to be shifted. Therefore, when you see even in the Rudra Upasana or even Vaishnava Upasana, Rudro Bhutva Rudram Archayet. Arudraha Rudram Ma Archayet. Therefore, the concept there is when you do the Rudra Upasana, which is Shiva Upasana, which is doing the Namaka Chamaka Ityadi, initially what do? There is an entire Lagunyasa. In Lagunyasa, what are you doing? The purpose of that Lagunyasa is you are sanctifying each instrument, each organ, each limb. Saying this is not my body, it is not me the body, it is that divinized divinity flowing through that body. There is Anganyasa, there is Karanyasa, there is Hridayanyasa. What is this Nyasa meant? There is one word, Sannyasa, to give up. The same word Nyasa also means to re-establish. So I am removing that identity and replacing it with the divine. Is that not necessary? And we just shove it away and say, all this is ritualistic. It hurts to hear that. Such a sophisticated thought put in there. That you are sitting there doing that, you have to divinize yourself to that level of being the Rudra himself, offering the Abhisheka to Rudra. Vishnu bhutva Vishnu marchayet. Na kadachana. So all of these steps are necessary to attack simultaneously from all different angles the identification that we exist as the idam mati, the idam dhi, as me. That has to be broken. If that is not broken, how many ever books we study? It is like the puja, after the puja we say, right? Udvasana. Yatha sthanam pratisthapayami kshemaya punaragamanaya cha. That I place this ignorance of me being body, mind and intellect re-establish again as soon as I step out of the class. Until when? Until the next class. फायदा नहीं होगा. Therefore, having spoken in the first 7 shlokas from the highest, where is he bringing it to? The ground reality wherein we are functioning. We are functioning in a completely different framework. Identify that framework where we are caught up in. Try loosening that grip. Then we will be able to recalibrate ourselves to this Lakshartha framework. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.